Hey guys, welcome to the second video in module 5, lesson 8, second video. Yeah, and here we have a square, and hopefully you notice that all side lengths are 1 unit. So we can see it's 1 unit this way, 1 unit that way, 1 unit that way, and it has 4 sides of equal length, and each side is 1 unit. Because the side lengths are each 1 unit, we can call this a unit square. Okay, let's call it a unit square. The area of a unit square is 1 square unit. Okay, so I know that's kind of a lot of words. A unit square is 1 square unit. So 1, it's 1. Okay, now what happens if I partition it into 4s? What can we say about each of those small squares? They're all the same size. They all have the same area, and each one is 1/4 of the square. We know that area is the amount of flat space a shape takes up. Why is area measured in square units? We're thinking about tiles. We're thinking about tiles that cover that space, right? We're thinking about square units. Remember how I showed you in the video, and also here it's a square and it's the same measurement on each side. All right, that makes sense. If each of these smaller squares is 1/4 of a unit square, then the length of one side of the smaller square, what would be the length of one side here? 1/2 unit. Does that make sense? If you think about what it looks like here, right? So from here to here would be 1/2 unit. So this is 1/2 unit. Okay. How many of these 1/2 units would fit inside of our 1 unit? Well, we saw back here that 4 of them would fit, right? 1/2 unit, 1/2 unit going this way, 1/2 unit, 1/2 unit going this way, and one more to cover the whole thing, right? Okay. Now you're going to need some patty paper. So I have the patty paper for you in the classroom. This is called patty paper because it's the kind of paper that they put between hamburger patties. And it's a very nice tool for us to use in geometry. All right. And that patty paper is 1 unit. So think of it as the same as this right here, our 1 square unit. And if we had a smaller piece of patty paper, like one that was 1/2 unit, right, then that smaller square would be a tile, because we're using it to tile the unit square. So we can think of this as a tile. And we want to think about how many tiles we would need to cover this 1 unit. And it would be 4, right? So if it takes 4 tiles to cover 1 unit square, or to make 1 square unit, what is the area of each tile? The area of each tile would be 1/4 square unit, because 1 square unit divided by 4 would be 1/4 square unit. Okay? All right, don't worry, you're catching on to it here. And let's look at this. How many square tiles with side lengths of 1/2 unit do you need to cover 2 square units? So let's think about this for a few minutes. If we have 2 square units, 2 pieces of patty paper, then how many square tiles with a side length of 1/2? And remember, here's our side length of 1/2. Also, here's our side length of 1/2. But now we have 2 square units, Okay. Something like this. You can see our 2 square units. I'd like to kind of outline them. Let me grab a pen over here. So our 2 square units, here's one piece of patty paper, right? And here's the other piece of patty paper. Each square has half a unit on each side, right? Because all 4 sides are the same. So the question is, how many square tiles do you need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah? Okay. All right. Now let's go back to our next question. Here we go. And our next question is, how many square tiles of side lengths of 1/2 would you need for 3 square units? So if you need 4 for 1 square unit, 8 for 2 square units, 12 for 3 square units. Does that make sense? All right, nice job. We are going to move on to the next video, but before we do that, let's watch some funniest farm animals.
It's trying to headbutt me, bro.
Hi, Stuart. Yes!
Okay, let's stop there with the funny goats, and I'll see you in the next video.